Hey guys, I wanted to do a response to a recent article that came out for a lot of gamers of and fans of the Assassin's Creed series. There seems to be a huge controversy coming about it. The next Assassin's Creed is titled Shadows, but the controversy, I'm not too aware of what exactly is going on, but apparently the main character is a black African American man. And it seems like people in Japan, typically the men, are responding to it negatively. I want to read Ubisoft, is that how you even pronounce it? Ubisoft's statement that they released from all the backlash that they're getting. I'm not too sure about what's going on too. I'm trying to see what their response is. So I'll do my best to give my analysis as an Asian man, which seems to be like maybe the reason why the Japanese community and maybe the Asian men community is responding the way they are. Let's read. So it says, to our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadow development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all your support for the Assassin's Creed series, which now has its own history spanning almost 20 years. Over this time, we have explored various setting, time periods, and characters, from an assassin during the Third Crusade to a Viking in 9th century England, and countless more. For many of our team, creating Assassin's Creed games set in feudal Japan has been a long cherished dream. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we have received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese players. We share our passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage. We would like to address a few points to clarify our intentions and creative decisions. Overall authenticity efforts. We have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan. However, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn about the historical settings we get inspired by. Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal Japan. Our extensive collaborated with our team extensively collaborated with external consultants, historians, researchers, and internal teams at Ubisoft Japan to inform our creative choices. Despite these sustained efforts, we acknowledge that some elements in our promotional materials have caused concern within the Japanese community. For this, we sincerely apologize. All game footage presented so far is in development and the game will keep evolving until launch. Based on the constructive criticism we have received, we will continue our efforts until we put this game into your hands and beyond. We want to clarify that while we have been consulting with many people throughout the development process, they are in no way responsible for the decisions that are taken by the creative teams in the interest of gameplay and entertainment. Consequently, we respectfully request that any criticism not be directed to our collaborators, both internal and external. Creative liberties and historical inspirations. While we strive for authenticity in everything that we do, Assassin's Creed's games are works of fiction inspired by real historical events and figures. From its inception, the series has taken. Okay. The representation of Yasuke in our game is an illustration of this. His unique and mysterious life made him an ideal candidate to tell an Assassin's Creed story with the setting of feudal Japan as a backdrop. While Yasuke is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that this is a matter of debate and discussion. We have woven this carefully into our narrative And with our other lead character, the Japanese shinobi Naoe, who is equally important in the game, our dual protagonists provide players with different gameplay styles. Oh, okay, so I kind of see the idea what the problem is. We greatly value your feedback and encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts respectfully. While we understand that meeting everyone's expectation is very difficult, we sincerely hope that when Assassin's Creed Shadows launches in November 15th, players in Japan and around the world will appreciate the dedication, effort, and passion we have poured into it. Assassin's Creed development team. Okay, so that was Ubisoft's response to the negative backlash. So I'm gonna ask Google why developers. So why is Assassin's Creed Shadow controversial? According to Google, developers behind Assassin's Creed Shadows, the upcoming Assassin's Creed set in feudal Japan, released a statement Tuesday that addressed the blowback of the game, which seems to be largely driven by the inclusion of Yasuke Black Samurai as one of two playable characters. What? It's not that I don't think it's because he's black. I think it's because you're setting a game in feudal Japan and you're not giving it a male Japanese protagonist. I think from the response, it seems like that seems to be the point. Um, let's see. Uh, I have no problems with the Oscars, but however, Asian American males have a serious lack of representation in Western media, and in this case, it's one less opportunity we have. Oh, okay. With that said, I do agree with the IGN article in the sense that another Japanese samurai will role won't do much for progressing the type of representation Asian males get. Oh, okay. So, as a Japanese American dude, I did have an initial eye roll to the situation simply because you would never see a game rooted in African history starring an Asian man. You never know. There'd be outrage from every angle. Yeah. So after about 5 minutes, though, I realized this Assassin's Creed is not that serious. Yeah, but still, it's coming from a time where um, a lot of Japanese and Korean men were not doing so well. I mean, our population is dropping, and a lot of the blame to that is because there are studies to this, and as you saw earlier with this Reddit post, a lot of Asian men are not represented. But then there's so much history behind and why. So this is very, very complex. So let me explain. So, in my opinion, Ubisoft didn't give you a direct explanation, but I think the real this is very sad, but basically they didn't choose a Japanese man to be the protagonist because Asian men in America, there's I believe Asian men are like at the lowest we're at the bottom when it comes to dating and relationship. Asian men, I mean, Asian men are represented pretty negatively and stereotypically in the Asian in Hollywood or any media in general, right? We're the nerdy, awkward, skinny, small, not masculine, and it's it sucks because Ubisoft is a very big corporate gaming company and they want to maximize sales, right? And as a male protagonist, I guess I don't know the numbers, but I guess not having an Asian man as the lead would produce more profit. I mean, I guess maybe that's why. Who knows, right? Um, in the Japanese culture and even in the Korean culture, respect is huge, and I feel like a lot of Japanese men have been disrespected by this moves, you know. And like that other Reddit post said, you know, it's tough because, like you said, you will never see a game rooted in African history starring an Asian man. It's hmm. I enjoy history and Japanese history in particular, and I thought it was disappointing. A black person in that time in Japan was such a rare sight that people would flock to that person to get a glimpse of him. So forget about blending in, etc. Yeah, I mean, hmm. There's a lot of different opinions, but I completely understand. You know, from a corporate perspective, having an Asian man as your game lead is not good, right? Like, if in the general media, if you're portrayed as weak, not masculine, you know, women don't like you generally. If there's that even notion, right? Do you really want to make that demographics as your main character, right? If other demographics sees Asian men as lower level, there's no reason for these gaming corporations to make an Asian lead, right? I mean, numbers don't lie. A lot of Asian male leads TV shows have been canceled recently too. Most likely because not a lot of people are really into it. So, I mean, it sucks for the Asian men for us. It sucks, but you know, a lot of Asian guys you know, have just accepted that fact and they just move on and just try to improve themselves and just look for their own avenue. So, yeah, it's sad because it sucks and sad because I understand both sides. Corporations want to make a shit ton of money, you know, and yeah, it's all about the money. It's a very depressing topic, as you know, as an Asian man. It's just like, you know, of course they're not gonna go with that. It's less money. It's like, oh, Asian dude, fuck the Asian dude, man. That's how it is, right? I mean, I can't really think of. I mean, these days, yeah, sure, but then you're trying to fight against like more than 100 years of like negative stereotypes. So it's like, it's an uphill battle for sure. Yeah. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed my review. Yeah. Till next time, I'll try to pick more of these topics. Stay strong, guys. Asian guys, it's okay. You just have to accept the fact and move on.